Campbell. That's the inspiration we've been looking for, and Kevin Campbell has provided it.
Yo, what's going on, people? Welcome back to the channel. Big up all the subscribers. Like I said to you guys before, I'm going to be bringing a special guest onto the show. An influential man, an inspirational person, someone that has worn the Arsenal badge. And like I promised, we have the big Kevin Campbell in the building. How you doing, Kev?
Wax, I'm good, man. Good to be on.
Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the channel. Just to let everyone know that this show is being sponsored by She Wore a Yellow Ribbon. Big those guys up. We have been running a competition on the show, and big up all the people that have tried to get this correct. They should have got this correct. I was putting hints out there and letting people know who this potentially is, and the person I was actually looking for was the big man himself, Kevin Campbell. That's who I was looking for. I was actually getting Ian Wright. I had all these different names in Bowie. So many different people, but no one guessed Kevin Campbell. And in fact, nobody got it right whatsoever. So big up all the people that have participated in this competition. I will be revealing a winner, and She Wore a Yellow Ribbon will be giving you guys one of these face masks. So you'll have the opportunity to win one of the face masks. I have already pre-selected the winner, and it's based on their involvement in the competition, how much. They've got most of the answers correct, and they've been involved every single time, even if they've got the answer incorrect. And I'm going to give it to that person, but I will reveal that person later on in the show. But we are going to crack on and start talking to Kevin Campbell. Guys, what I would suggest you lot do, get your questions in now. We will be reading those questions, running through those comments at the end of the show. So make sure you start getting those questions in now. But Kevin, how are you, my friends? How are you doing? What's life been like recently? Talk to us. Let us know.
No, life's good. Can't complain. Been watching quite a lot of football. Been doing loads online with everything to do with football. The end of last season and the start of this pre-season season has kind of blended in, especially with Europe going on a bit longer.
Yeah.
So it's like work hasn't really stopped, which I love. I love to work and communicate. So I've been really busy. Obviously, been watching my boys from afar.
That's what I wanted to talk about. Actually, I wanted to say Tyrese, because Tyrese Campbell, who does he currently play for at the moment?
Stoke. He's at Stoke.
That's it, and he's doing his thing. And I was reading a report today to suggest that he could be a replacement for Wilson. Who's recently
Callum Wilson, who's gone to Newcastle, who scored yesterday, didn't he?
Yeah,
so
he did.
Good win. There's speculation, isn't it? There's speculation about Bournemouth, etc. But you know what? The great thing for me, Wax, is I'm a football dad, so I'm just happy to sit back. I'm not involved in none of it. He's a grown man now. He's a young man, but he's a grown man. He makes his own decisions. If he wants to ask me anything, he can.
Yeah.
And wherever he goes, obviously I'll be there if I get the opportunity. So I support him unconditionally, my friend.
Absolutely.
But it was my youngest lad, Kyle, who plays at Buxton.
Okay.
He got into football late because he just wanted to play with his friends, etc. 15 years old, he turns around and said, "Dad, I want to play football." So I said, "All right." I said, "Son, you're gonna have to start at the bottom." He said, "I don't mind, Dad. I want to get into football." And he's been at Bucks, and he made, I think it was 6 appearances last season for the first team at Buxton last season. And he's only 17, so played for the youth team in the FA Youth Cup the other day, and last Thursday they done really well. We scored one, set one up, and they won 4-2. So it's for me as a football dad, it's just a pleasure.
Yeah, so football's just running within the family. I mean, are you married at the moment, or
no? I'm not married. Not
at
married.
the time, I mean, you see your children's mum. Was she involved in like your football career and stuff like that when you was?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I mean, this is we're still good friends, etc. But it's a family affair wags.
Yeah, exactly.
It really is a family affair. You know what I mean? Because from everything that you do has to be concentrated on football. So from the food that you eat, the way you recover, you know, you have to have an understanding partner or wife or whatever to play the game. And you know, I did have an understanding wife who cook up a storm, do whatever, made sure I rested up and all that. So, you know, it's not just simple as you got a wife or a girlfriend. They have to play their part too.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true. Cool. So I'm sure you watched the game yesterday. We got off to a great start. I mean, 3-0 against Fulham. And I have to say, even though there's a lot of people that are trying to surround negative energy around Arsenal in regards to the players and so on, I think Mikel Arteta has done a fantastic job in making these players perform, getting the best out of these players. And yesterday clearly demonstrated that. What would you say in regards to yesterday's game and yesterday's result?
Yeah, you know what I don't like? I don't like when people say that you look at it's only Fulham, because the first day of the season is always difficult, no matter who you are. You look at Liverpool and Leeds, for instance.
Exactly.
Leeds could have easily ended up that game with a point or a win. So it's not just a matter of it's only Fulham. You still have to go there. It's still the first game. Nobody's quite sure who's going to do what. And Fulham, if you think of Fulham in the first half, weren't bad. They weren't bad. But I just think the way this Arsenal side are going under Arteta, finally he's got his hands on them in pre-season. He could do patterns with them. He can work them into the system, into their mindset.
Yeah.
And you could see the team had energy.
Yeah.
I think that was some great play, but I think the whole team had energy. There was a structure to how they played, and the way they attacked in and around the box blew Fulham away. And you know what? It could have been anybody else. I think Arsenal would have blown them away as well. So I'll take a 3-0. Lovely to see a big, strong centre half, quick, who can cover. And Gabriel get himself on the score sheet, which was fantastic.
Fantastic debut.
Good to see El Neni in midfield, who many people have written off. Who, do you know what? Under Arteta, I like these guys. Don't say nothing, but just do the business. Just keep doing the business. You need that within a squad. You need a good squad players, and El Neni and Xhaka, I thought, done really well in the midfield yesterday. Willian, who a lot of people were like, why are we signing Chelsea casters? Well, why are we doing this? Why are we doing that? William was probably one of the top three of Chelsea players last season.
Yeah, exactly.
He comes to us, and you see what he can do, and he ain't even started yet.
Come on, this is what I'm saying. This is what I've been saying. The moment I knew we were going to sign Willian, I wasn't super happy with it, but I knew what it was for. I knew the reasons behind it, and it's because Premier League proven. He's still got it within him. I mean, he's moving up and down that pitch like he's 24, 25 years old still got a lot of energy. And not only that, we've been lacking a right winger, a know-how right winger. And I think that's a reason for why Pepe, again, in the season that he's had, hasn't really stepped up to the heights, to the levels that we needed him to step up to, because there's no one there to show him how it's done. And I think that's another reason why we went and brought Willian to the club. And I said, bringing Willian in is fantastic. Bringing Willian to the club is kind of like bringing Sanchez, a player of that intelligence, back to the club again. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And all it can do is improve the players that we have around us. And we clearly see that when we played Fulham. Aubameyang was
it's experience as well.
Yeah.
It's experience in the league to go a season and win.
Yeah.
How many of our players, bar David Luiz, has gone a season and won?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you do need those sort of players within your squad who know when to calm people down, who know when to, do this or do we go left, do we go right, do we stick?
Yeah.
They know the terrain. And don't forget, David Luiz was getting some terrible stick back in the last season.
Yeah.
During and after the lockdown, when we played Man City, etc., he was getting terrible stick. But you could see the man's class. The man, Arteta worked it, that he plays in the middle of a free.
Yeah.
We end up beating Liverpool. We end up beating Man City. We end up beating Chelsea, winning the cup.
Exactly.
He's had 1 day's training in the Community Shield, and we win that too.
Yeah.
So
that's one thing I like about David Luiz. No matter where he goes, he wins trophies. No matter where he goes, he's always winning trophies. So when we initially signed David Luiz, even though again it was another signing that I kind of frowned upon, and I thought, oh, why are we signing this dude for? I thought, you know what? He's experienced and the type of mentality that he's got. For me, it's probably someone that's gonna help us win a trophy. And what happens in his first season? We win a trophy. So yeah, I'm pretty pleased with some of these players, the way they've turned themselves around, the way they've been playing in recent months since the restart. Danny Ceballos, Xhaka. Yeah, of course we need to sort that midfield out, but I think Mikel Arteta is the man, and he's potentially going to take us back to the top again. But before we even talk about Arsenal, let's catch up with yourself. Let's find out a bit more about you, because I was reading an article. It was in regards to music. Back in the day, I believe that you running some sort of record label. Or...
Yeah, I had a record label. Yeah, I had a record label, 2 Wicked Records, and we signed. We had Mark Morrison was on the roster.
Oh, wicked.
And stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was something I always wanted to do. I had a cousin Rado who was like a dancehall artist. He's from New York,
okay.
So that was all right as well. So it was just doing something that I loved. Obviously, not taken away from football because I was deep into football.
Yeah.
But doing something like that, which music. I've grown up with music all my life.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? Yeah. From back in the day from the sound systems and all that kind of thing,
exactly.
All of that. So it was just something that I wanted to do, and I've done it. I realized that the music industry, although they like football, they don't like football has invaded their space. So I worked that one out pretty quickly. But, I could honestly say, I could hold my hands up and say, listen, I had a great time doing it because it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, for real. Now I remember reading the article a little while ago, and I was thinking, that's great, because I used to, do music. I used to produce. I still produce here and there, but I used to like songwrite and try to put mixtapes together, perform. I used to go on tour with a few of my friends and all of that type of palaver. But I kind of gave up a few years ago. And when I read that you was involved in music, I thought, wow, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I found out a few days ago when I was kind of doing research on you.
Yeah, no, it was. Listen, Mark Morrison is a phenomenal artist.
Yeah.
But he created. There was a lot of people who were against him because of some of the shenanigans that had gone on before. So now it was time where he would have to eat humble pie, and there was like you're just clashing. It was just pure clashing with some of these guys. You know what I mean? Because they didn't want to give him the break. So it was tough. It was tough at times.
It's great how the music world's completely changed now, because that was.
I love it. I love it that it's changed.
Yeah, love it. And even like some of my friends who I've seen to go on and be successful and famous and reap the benefits of being a music artist, it's been absolutely crazy. And the tours and just being noticed by other countries and the award shows. It's like it's real now. It's real. And I never thought that I would be a person that would grow up in an area or with people that would go on and meet that and get those rewards and stuff. So it's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So cool. You actually started your career at Arsenal, didn't you? Is that where you actually started? Yeah.
Yeah. I started at Arsenal. I was in the time where you couldn't sign for a club until you were 12.
Okay.
So from like age of 10 to 12. You can train I was training all over London. I was training at Millwall, I was training at Charlton, I was training at Arsenal, Chelsea, Crystal Palace. I was training all over the place. And but I loved Arsenal, obviously, because I supported Arsenal as a kid.
So you support Arsenal now, though? That's the team you support, right?
Oh, well, I supported Arsenal as a kid, so I'm not going to change, am I? Of course I'm an Arsenal fan.
No.
I first stood on the North Bank. I first stood on the North Bank in 1977. That's the first time I went to a football match.
Yeah.
At Arsenal in 1977. So I'm one of them lucky ones who could say I've stood on the terraces and I've scored in front of the North Bank and the clock end, and I've been there, and I've came up through the ranks of the football club.
That's legendary. That must have been a dream as a child, and then that's crazy.
Dream come true. Dream.
Well
Big
done.
dream.
Congratulations, man. That is fantastic. So you was how long in total was you at Arsenal for? Was it about, I'm sure it was about a decade or longer than 10 years, was it?
Well, when you consider I signed schoolboy forms at 12,
Hmm.
and I left at 25. So, throughout my tenure there was
Mm-hmm.
13 years, but
Mm-hmm.
from YTS, which was he signed at 16,
Mm-hmm.
obviously that's 9 years from 16
Yeah.
to 25.
Wicked. How did you feel when you knew that you was going to sign for Arsenal a professional contract? What did it feel like at that time? What do you remember telling your parents? What was the moment like?
Well, I think I didn't need to tell them that I was going to be signing professional contract because I was doing so well in the youth
Yeah.
team and reserves.
Yeah.
I was scoring a lot of goals, so it was just a natural thing for me to get offered a contract. And I was always, I knew I wanted to sign a professional contract, but I was looking at the first team.
Yeah.
That's the ultimate goal, and that's the way Pat Rice brought us up in the youth team. Having a legend like Pat Rice. Pat Rice used to coach us from we were young, so he would always be challenging us, letting us know the mindset, letting us know, who you are, what you are, who you represent. That strap line that is linked to David Rocastle.
Mm.
Pat Rice was telling us. Pat Rice was telling us that from 10 years old, and you live with it, you grow with it. Everywhere you go, it's about the Arsenal. Do you know what I mean? Everything is the Arsenal, not just Arsenal, the Arsenal. So you grow up with that mindset that this is the best club. And
Sure.
the thing is, to get into Arsenal's first team is hard.
Hard,
But that's the way he trains you. He trains you to look ahead. This isn't enough for you. You've got to be looking at first team.
Exactly.
And when you think about your Paul Davises, Raf Mead, Chris White, Adams, obviously O'Leary, and that came through. Then your Rockies and Gus Caesars and Paul Mersons and all. You look at the amount of young players who have come through that conveyor belt and that academy to the first team. I know United get a lot of plaudits about that special group they had. But we were doing it for decades.
For decades.
Arsenal were doing it for decades. Homegrown players, getting them through, getting them in and establishing them in the first team and having careers. And it never stopped under Jules Graham.
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, those times would have been, there would have been great times for you because you would have definitely in 1991, we would have won the title and you was a part of that as well, weren't you?
Yeah, I travelled to Anfield in '89 with the squad.
Yeah.
Rocky picked me up at 5 o'clock in the morning from Brixton Town Hall. We drove across to Highbury. We put all the skips on the bus, me and Rocky. And he's playing Liverpool in a title decider tonight. But you wouldn't believe, this is how Rocky was. This is how it was. Went up, met all the guys, and then we all went up there. So to be around it, was special. And it just made you even more hungry. I need to get in that team. You know what I mean, Wax? I need to get in that team.
It was the same for me when I used to be doing music and I used to be around the people that I was around. I used to think I was lucky to be in that position to have these type of people at arm's reach to say like, and you know what I mean? And again, when I used to go on the tours or be in studio or go to performances, that right there used to inspire me and just make them more hungrier to want to do it even more. Unfortunately, I gave up, but I found something.
No, listen. Whether you give up or you go on to other things, that's your choice. But it's the fact that when you're in it, the inspiration is there. You take inspiration from others who are doing it, who are maybe at a higher level than you. But you know what? What I found when I started to get through to in and around the team, all the players were top class with me. All the players were top class. Advice, anything I needed, they had my back. Obviously, the South London boys, Paul Davis, Rocky, Michael Thomas. Me and Michael went to the same school. Mickey's a few years older than me. Do you know what I mean? So all that lot from South London. You had Gus Caesar as well, was North London boy, but he was always cool with me. And then you had David O'Leary, Tony Adams. You had all the guys, Merce, all the homegrown players know what it's about. And it was special times, man, special.
No, I can imagine. I've got a picture here of you and Ian Wright. Yeah, one of my friends brought it to my attention a couple of days ago when I told them that I was doing the show, and I remember seeing this picture. These leather jackets are absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. These lot look like proper swagger dagger dons.
Listen, that was them leather coats back in the day were the one.
Yeah.
Right. Maybe not so now.
Yeah.
But back then, Wax, they were the bee's knees, boss. You know what I mean? That was the bee's knees. To own a leather coat, man. What? And that was a European game, and we were traveling away to a cold country.
Yeah.
So I said to right, I'm bringing my leather, man. He said, really? He said, I'm bringing my leather too. So we decided, and everybody wanted to take a picture.
What happened? What happened to that leather? What happened? Did you get rid of it? Have you still got it? What happened to it?
No, listen. I think I gave it away to one of my family members.
Okay.
Yeah, I gave it away to one of my family members. Yeah.
Cool,
he was down on me. He was down on me for it. Oh, let me have that. Let me borrow it. He said, "Let me borrow it," because I thought if he borrows it, Wax, I'm not seeing it again. You know what I mean?
I can imagine. But you know that jacket is such a legendary jacket. That photo is a legendary photo. Like everybody is familiar with that photo. So I thought, let me ask and see what that jacket is, because that jacket is antique. That jacket is, it's like, do you know what I mean? Cool. So you and Ian Wright, what was your relationship like back in its time? Are you still close now at the moment?
Yeah. Well, it's quite funny, you know, Wax, because obviously when we used to play Crystal Palace with Righty, Andy Gray. I knew Andy Gray when I was a kid. Andy Gray used to live around the corner from me in Brixton.
Okay.
And so he was one of my heroes growing up, because he was trying to get into football. Do you know what I mean? So when you're young and you're seeing him, his brother Nicky, me and Nicky used to be close. So Andy used to tell us the stories, and I'm like wide-eyed kid, like really wanted to play football, and he's going and he's there, ended up at Dulwich Hamlet, and then he broke through, and that was brilliant. You know, we're so pleased for him. But whenever we used to play Crystal Palace, and we used to slap them, and Rocky we always used to talk, you know, after the game and stuff. And Rocky used to say, "Right, you're wasting your time here, man. You waste." And we all used to rib him, you know what I mean? Right, you know which team you need to come to. But Righty used to think, and I'm sure you've probably heard it. He used to think, they don't need Ian Wright. Look how good they are. They don't need Ian Wright. But do you know what I mean? Just the way things work, Righty ended up coming, and what a absolute star he was. As I say, me and Righty got on from day one anyway. But when he came to the club, I realized not only is he a top player, he's a top guy as well.
Yeah, no, Ian Wright, absolute legend. One of the best strikers that we've had.
Yes.
For this club. And another reason why I like Ian Wright very much is because still to this day he's so passionate and so enthusiastic about the club. He's like he must be the biggest fan. He has to be the biggest Arsenal fan out there.
Right is passionate. He's passionate about the football club, because you know what? He couldn't believe he came to Arsenal. I'm telling you. And you know what? The fact that the fans took to him straight away, and he built his name got so big because of Arsenal.
Yeah, it's so true.
He's so appreciative of the football club and the fan base. And the fan base obviously still recognise him, and he's still got an affinity to the club, like we all have. All of us ex-players have an affinity. But I think because Righty is deep in the punditry, and he's doing loads of stuff with Adidas and bits, he could keep being seen around the club and interview the guys, which soothes his soul, man. I'm telling you, it's really good to see it. I love seeing it, because I know he feels so passionate about it.
No, 100%. I actually, when I used to do music, I actually went on a show with his son, Bradley Wright Phillips, and I didn't even know it was Bradley Wright Phillips. But he was an MC. He was MCing, and I couldn't believe it. I was thinking, oh my God, Bradley Wright Phillips, you know. It was only after the show when it was published on YouTube, when YouTube because I'm going back to that 2007. It was only when it was published on YouTube, I think a few people come to me and said, "Oh my God, that's Ian Wright's son that he was emceeing with," and I was like, "Really? I wonder why he was balling. He was in Gucci head to toe." I was like,
right,
oh, he's definitely Ian Wright's son, then, isn't he? But yeah, man, Ian Wright, absolute legend for this club, man, absolute legend. Cool. So you after the Arsenal, you had a great time at Arsenal. In fact, I've got some clips that I want to share with the people. Let's actually take a look at these clips right about now.
Lee Dixon here. Campbell now. Yes, that's two.
Davis, a bit of hesitation from Ipswich, and Kevin Campbell, and the substitute scores, and Arsenal are surely through now. Limpar.
Beautiful ball from Campbell. Can he finish it off? A brilliant goal! What a superb second goal, Kevin Campbell.
Campbell getting in behind him, it could be another one! It is! Oh, they let right turn, and they let Campbell stride on! It is a hat-trick! And Campbell is away here, there's no flag. And he's made no mistake. Kelly was exposed, and Campbell cashed in.
Jeez. They were the days, Kev. They were the days, man.
Listen, it always brings a smile to my face seeing old footage of the old lady Highbury as well. But that team, that squad was immense. Immense squad, great guys.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, that were the times when I would have just started supporting Arsenal. So I'm 32 years old. I'll give you a quick background. I used to actually support Liverpool. Right. But I had a bet with a friend when I was really, really young. I think I was about 7 or 8 years old or something like that. Whoever won out of Arsenal and Liverpool at the time, we had to support. And fortunately, Arsenal won. And I started supporting Arsenal. And ever since then, I've been an Arsenal fan, true Arsenal fan. But I thought I'd give you a bit of history there. But yeah, man.
Yeah, you don't want to be Liverpool in London, though. So.
Exactly. You know what it is? I think I was attracted to the red. The red kit.
Yeah.
One sec, Kev. Babe. My battery's going to cut out. Could you get my charger for me, please? It's just there over that corner. So, yeah, I think I was just attracted to the red, to be honest. Just loved the red. And then when I knew Arsenal were red, I was like, yes, they're red as well. But, cool. So, after Arsenal, I mean, you moved on and you went on to Nottingham Forest, wasn't it?
Yep.
Now, for me, looking at the Nottingham Forest, Kevin Campbell, I mean, you scored some tremendous goals for Nottingham Forest. I think probably some of your best goals in maybe within your career, would you say?
I'd say I had a decent career to start at Forest, but I suffered some injuries and stuff at Forest in probably the first 2 seasons, and then we got relegated to the Championship, and then Dave Bassett took over. And Pierre Van Hooijdonk came into the club and stuff like that. I mean, we had a good squad, but there was a lot of players out injured from the previous season. But we got everybody together, and it was going straight back up was our mentality, and we just seemed to gel. It was a really good squad. Chris Bart-Williams, Steve Stone, Ian Woan, all these guys. Jeff Thomas, who played at Crystal Palace, Wood Wrighty and stuff. He came in. Andy Johnson. We had Colin Cooper, Steve Chettle, Des Little, Alan Rodgers was at the back. Dave Besant came in and done a good job. Mark Crossley was goalkeeper. He got injured. Dave Besant come in.
When I was checking out your highlights, I was looking at all the highlights at Arsenal. Then there was obviously Nottingham Forest, and then you moved on to Turkey. We'll talk about that in a second. But when I was looking at all the highlights and looking at the goals, I was thinking, oh my God, you scored some sick goals for Nottingham.
I mean, it was. Yeah, that with Pierre was such a good, smart player, and he allowed me to play where I wanted to play, which was on the shoulder.
Yeah, is it Pierre Van Hooijdonk?
Pierre Van Hooijdonk. What he liked to do, he liked to start up top and then he would drop into midfield.
Yeah.
So we could link a bit like the way Dennis Bergkamp did. He would drop off and he would just find passes. That's what Pierre Van Hooijdonk was good at. So that's what he done. And then you get the runners. and I was happy. I was fit. I was happy to be the runner.
Yeah.
So I think our partnership that season, we were the highest scoring partnership in Europe.
Yeah.
Goals
There you
for.
go.
So it was good, really good.
So then after Nottingham Forest, you went and moved to Turkey. How comes you decided to move over to Turkey?
Well, it was kind of taken. It wasn't taken out of my hands, but we just got promotion. We won the championship, and we were in preparation for pre-season for the Premier League. So we're all looking forward to it. We'd be back where we belong. We know the Premier League. We'd all played there most of our careers, or if not all of our careers. And then the club, we were going on tour in the club. I got a phone call from Dave Bassett saying that my contract will be ready Monday or Tuesday. I went in Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. No contract was ready. We were the weekend, the next week. He said no, it will be ready. So I went in Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. From I'm going in there, and the contract's not ready.
Wow.
Next minute, I heard that I got a call saying that they'd accepted a bid from a Turkish team, and it's in my best interest to go and speak to them.
Oh wow, wow!
So you're going to be sold. So no matter what. So I said, listen, I'll speak to them.
Do you reckon Nottingham Forest were going through like financial difficulties or anything like that at the time?
Well, they'd just been taken over.
Okay.
But the chairman at the time was, do you remember Irving Scholar? Have you ever heard of him, yeah?
Name rings a bell, yeah.
He used to be Spurs chairman. But he was the head of this new consortium thing. And I seemed to be the one that he wanted out. Okay. So, well, which is fine. Yeah. But I went over to Turkey and met them. Saw what was what, and I'd always said to myself, if I get a chance, would I go abroad? Yeah, I would. I went over there thinking, I'm not gonna, it's gonna be a third world thing. It's not gonna be, the facilities won't be as good. Yeah. Well, Wax, I was shocked. Their facilities were better than ours. Everything was far superior over there.
Yeah. So
I thought, do you know what? I'm gonna have some of this, and I decided, yeah, I'm gonna go and sign. And this guy in this picture is Unal. He was my teammate when we played. He was manager.
Okay.
He was manager last time I went over last year. He was manager, so we took a picture. And,
so I was thinking, when I look at this picture, I was thinking, this looks like you today. This is
it's not me when I was a player. No, that was just last year. Last year.
So he's the manager of the team, that team now.
He was. Do you remember Eddie Newton? Eddie Newton, who was at Chelsea.
Yeah.
He's the new manager now.
Okay.
Yeah, he's the new manager now. So
cool.
Yeah.
So you was in Turkey. I know there was a situation in Turkey, and I'm not too sure. I didn't really like go deep into it when I was reading it, but I think there was like you spent like 9 months there. And then was there racial abuse or something that was coming out? Or
well, let me just explain this a little bit, because it was so-called a racial incident, which wasn't.
Okay.
And here's the reason why. You got to remember, when you're in Turkey, just imagine this: every day between 90 and 160 press are there to speak to you. Okay, every day. So you imagine when you play games, you could imagine the spotlight. I mean, they've had their own radio station, they've had their own TV chat. They've had this 20 years before we even considered it.
Yeah.
Right. So the big four, there's 3 big teams obviously in Istanbul, and there's 1 big team outside. That big team outside is Trabzon. So the speculation is big. We played a game, and it wasn't a great game. And the chairman got asked by the press, what about Campbell? And the chairman said he's going to eat the team. So the next game he's going to eat the team.
Oh,
just like we would say he's going to eat it.
Yeah,
he's going to eat them.
Yeah, exactly. He's going
to eat them next time.
The maddest thing is that's what I read. Actually, now you're saying that, I read that somewhere, because when I heard when I first read the one article, it was like racist, this, that, the other, and I was like, hold on, let me just dig into it a bit more. And I read something else where it said, "No, my man said you were gonna eat somebody,
Right.
like
So,
an animal or something like that."
listen, when you're in the hood or whatever, we say he's gonna nam it. He's gonna nam it, star. You know what I mean? He's
Yeah,
gonna nam it.
exactly. Yeah,
That's what he used the slang. He used the slang, which was called
Okay.
yam yam, yam
Yeah,
yam, which is he's gonna nam it. But
Yeah.
what did the press do? The press turned around and said he called me a cannibal.
Yeah,
Right. So all of a sudden, it became an international incident. The press, across the wire, people were calling me from England. People were calling me from America. The British consulate called me from Istanbul. Are you okay? I said, of course I'm fine. I had friends out in Trabzon, really good friends out in Trabzon, who are locals. I spoke to them, and he said, Kev, I don't know what the press are trying to do, but we were quite up there in the league, so they were trying to unsettle us, and everything played into their hands. It unsettled the squad, unsettled the team. I got suspended from the team. I don't know how I got suspended, but I got suspended from the team, Wax. And if you're not playing football, Wax, I couldn't train with the team. So I was training before the team, after the team, and with the under 21s in the afternoon. So what's the point of me being there?
Yeah.
So and that's when there was that window in March, last week in March. That's when I ended up coming back. But other than that, Wax, I would have stayed because I had a 2-year contract. I would have stayed because I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, no, I can imagine. And to being in Turkey anyway, it's probably a much better environment than being in.
Listen, it was brilliant. No, listen, it was brilliant. I really enjoyed my time at Trabzonspor. I enjoyed the fans. I enjoyed the football. I enjoyed the lifestyle. I enjoyed it all, mate. I'll be honest with you. So it was just that incident happened, and I ended up getting suspended. I needed to play football. I was like, what was it, 29, 30? I was 30-year-old. I have to play, man.
Exactly.
Can't be on being on sideline.
Exactly. But then after that, that's when you went and, I mean, you basically become the first black captain for Everton. And that right there is, I don't know if a lot of people know that, but that right there is phenomenal. I mean, he's setting records. But talk about the move from, because it was after when you left Turkey, you signed for Everton, isn't it?
Yeah, I signed on loan first.
Yeah,
signed on loan.
And then the loan spell was crazy. The loan spell was like, what, 9 games and 8 goals?
Nine goals, 8 games.
That's it. 9 goals and 8 games. I mean, that's incredible.
9 goals, 8 games. We ended up staying up. And, everything just went great. Everything went great. I took to the club took to me, and it just seemed like a marriage made in heaven. But I was still a Trabzon player. And obviously got to the end of the season and they're trying to work something out. And obviously the chairman said, we want you with us. We want you back in Turkey, etc. And I'm like, no, I want to stay at Everton. So a delegation had to go over. This was pre-season. Delegation had to go over to Turkey to thrash it out. And I walked with the chairman, the Başkan, and we had a good chat, and he said to me, I'll let you go. He said, because I could see you're passionate about this football club, and he let me go, which was great.
Yeah, I think at your time at Everton was a good time. Especially I think, was this when you won the Player of the Month? Was that on the loan spell?
Yeah, that was on the loan. I think I'm the first player to win Player of the Month while on loan, top flight.
Wow. So you're just setting records all over the place, isn't it? Bloody hell, man.
Yeah.
AC, come on.
I know.
Got a picture here of you and a young Wayne Rooney as well.
Well, listen, the first time I saw him play was 14. He played with me. We played against Southport. I've never seen anything like it, Wax. I'm telling you.
And even when you was at Everton as well, I remember you had you created a pretty decent partnership with Francis Jeffers as well.
Yeah. Well, that was to start with.
Yeah.
And then obviously Arsenal came in for Franny.
Yeah.
And I said to Franny, listen, let me just tell you. If you're not going to be playing there, come back on loan. Because you need to play. You need to keep sharp.
Yeah, exactly.
And he went there, and you got Ian Wright and Thierry Henry and all these world-class players. He's never going to play enough football.
Yeah, I thought so.
You
I mean,
know,
I was shocked when we actually signed Francis Jeffers. I know he played he had a decent time at Everton. I remember, I think it was like maybe 1 or 2 good seasons that he had. He was that fox in the box that everyone was talking about. And I remember eating my school dinner. I went to a boarding school. I was in boarding school and I was eating dinner, and I remember one of my main teachers showed me the newspaper of Francis Jeffers holding the Arsenal kit. And I was like, no way, we've signed this guy. Why have we signed him? And I thought at the time there was no need to sign him because, like you said, we've got all these strikers in front of him, Dennis Bergkamp and so on and so forth. So it's like, where's he going?
Where's he fit? You know,
it didn't work out. Then he ended up going back to Everton, didn't he?
He come back on loan.
Yeah.
To Everton, etc. But he wasn't the same player.
Yeah.
He was. When I joined Everton, he was razor sharp, and I said to him, Franny, let me tell you something. You need to keep playing. You need to keep your eye in, and you need, that continuity for a young player to be in the first team and playing. Yeah. You cannot take it away. You need it to learn the game. And he was sharp, good striker, good goal scorer, but he needed to play. And going to Arsenal, I won't say it ruined him, but going to Arsenal limited his football opportunities, and it's not good.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. All right, cool. So what I want to do next is we're going to talk a bit about some transfers. I only want to run on for another 20 minutes, and we want to run through some comments as well. I am actually running a competition today, boys and girls. I'm going to be reading out the winner of this week's competition later on in the show. But we are doing a competition, and it's a Kevin Campbell competition, and you guys can actually win this personally signed Kevin Campbell frame with an old school picture in there. That will be sent directly to your address. I've got that, and I'll send it out to you guys. But the how to win, what you've got to do is answer this question, and it says, what year did Kevin Campbell make his Arsenal debut, and who did he play against? Now, there's 3 answers. There's A, 1991, Chelsea, B, 1988, Everton, or C, 1990, Leeds. Guys, I will be revealing the winner of this competition at the end of the show as well. So what I need you lot to do is just comment down below. Big up all the people that are watching. Make sure you hammer that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. Hit that notification bell. But comment down below and let me know what you think the answer is to this question. And you can be a lucky winner of this personally signed Kevin Campbell picture frame. Guys, what are you waiting for? Comment down below and let me know. All right, cool. So last little bit we want to talk about before we move on to the comments and read a few questions that have been left by the members and some of these subscribers. Arsenal currently. So Mikel Arteta, we know he's doing a fantastic job. I think he's going to take us to where we want to be, and that's back in Champions League, back competing for the title again. We can clearly see it. He's hungry as a manager. The philosophy and the way he's got the players playing is on point. He knows what he wants to do, but the problem we are facing, which I'm sure you'll agree, Kevin, is the lack of quality players joining the club. Now, we have seen some of these players improve, but for where we are trying to be, would you say this current crop of players can take us there?
I think there needs to be a couple more additions to start with. I think this transfer window is so important for the well-being of Arsenal moving forward. And look, we haven't got a sugar daddy like some of the other clubs who are happy to put real money behind the manager. So what we have to do, we have to move and shake. And we know Martinez, who's been sensational as a goalkeeper since he's come in. He's, that's business has had to be done. Yeah. There's talk of the likes of Bellerin and other players going out from the club when really we should be strengthening. Yeah, we should be thinking of strengthening first, and then those players who we need to get out, then we could say, right, you can go. Do you know what I mean? Beef up that squad first. But unfortunately, we can't do that. So the 2 players in particular that we're talking about is Partey and Uwa. Yeah. Now, we talk about it before we came on air, Wax, that we've needed that centre midfielder in that type of Vieira, Gilberto mold, who can sit in there, who's got the legs to do everything, but he's a winner. He's a winner. He's a winner in there. If things start to get physical, bring it on. Yeah. If you wanna fight us, we fight. If you wanna play, we'll play. We've lacked that midfielder, big time. So that's what Partey will bring to the table, and he'll protect the back four or back three or whatever. He'll be that type of player. And we talk about creativity quite a bit at Arsenal. You know, we lack creativity. I don't think we lack the creativity as much now. But if you brought in Aouar, now you're looking at someone who has the quality to unlock a door. It's a squad game now, whether we like it or not. It is a squad game. We have got good players. The bench looks a lot stronger. If you look at the bench at Fulham, you know, Nicola Pepe, 72 minutes, he's on the bench. Yeah. You know, so we are looking a bit stronger. So I think that's the business that we need to do. We really do. Martinelli's been injured. He's going to be coming back at some stage, whether it's Christmas time or New Year or whatever. Good young player. We've got good crop of young players who I believe some or most of them are going to go out on loan, which I think is really important for their development.
Joe Willock, in my opinion, Reece Nelson, in my opinion, as well. They are, for me, they need to go out on loan. I like them. They've been at
Smith Rowe
as well. Yeah, exactly.
Smith Rowe. Saka stays. Saka stays. Saka stays.
Yeah, for me, Martinelli and Saka right now, they're the only two two young players in our first team that I believe can help the first team out. They can support, they can develop, and they can be good enough to help us do what we want to achieve this season.
Yeah, in and around it. Yeah,
exactly. But with the likes of Reece Nelson and Joe Willock, I think like they're taking up positions for other players to come in, and they need to go out and get that real experience because that's what they need in order for them to become the players that we want them to become. They need to go out and get that experience.
I look at Eddie Nketiah as well. Yeah, and I think he's a good young player, but Eddie Nketiah will be a far better player. I know he went out on loan at Leeds and he didn't play enough. He didn't play, but he needs to go somewhere and play. Yeah, he needs to go somewhere and get the hits. Yeah, and see how tough it is out there. Playing for Arsenal first team's wonderful, but you're learning on the job. Go out there, see what it's like at other places where you don't get the service.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? Learn your trade.
This is what I'm saying with Eddie. I think Eddie is going to be a great player, and like you can see it in his game, he's going to be a terrific Premier League player. However, right now he does need to go out on loan, and I think not to any random team. He needs to go to a Premier League team that's going to give him the first team football that he needs. Someone like Southampton, someone like Newcastle, someone like Brighton. One of those type of teams where he can get in there and really, find himself as a football player in this league, and then potentially come back next season.
I think that's hard. Wax, for Premier League, because he's unproven.
You reckon?
I think he needs to go Championship again. Yeah. And he needs to go to a team where he's gonna play. He's got to go somewhere where he's gonna play. Yeah. He has to play. So
one thing I think with these younger players as well, I think Arsenal have used them so much and give them so much of a boost that when these deals come in, like these loan deals and these opportunities to go to play in the Championship, they're looking at it like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I'm playing for Arsenal, and it's kind of like maybe that's something that's going through their minds, and that's the reason.
Well, I hope not. Wax, I hope not.
No, me too. But we've got the situation with Matteo Guendouzi. I read recently that Matteo Guendouzi's rejected every single. Arsenal have tried to get him out the door, whether it's a sell or whether it's a loan. But he has rejected every club. He's rejected Valencia. He's rejected Villarreal. He rejected somebody else. And the reports are suggesting that Matteo Guendouzi might think he's a bit too big already to go and join a team like Villarreal.
Well, maybe he does. Hey, listen, if he's got that attitude, then you're gonna see him. You're not gonna see him.
Yeah, it's true.
And then he only has himself to blame.
It's so true. It's so true. One other thing I wanted to ask you, Mesut Ozil. Now, Mesut Ozil hasn't been in this team for ages. I mean, I I can't remember the last time. Every time I think about the last game, it's probably like Newcastle when we slapped them over 4-0 prior to lockdown. But with this situation with Ozil, what do you actually think it is? Being a football player, being someone that's been behind the scenes, understood what happens behind the scenes personally, business-wise, on the training pitch. Like, what do you think is going on with Mesut Ozil? Why is he just not in the team? Why is he not on the bench? Why is he nowhere near the club at the moment?
Because he never fully bought in after the restart. Because before the restart, Mesut Ozil was playing.
Yeah.
Then lockdown came.
Mm-hmm.
Then the restart, they got to do a bit of worker training and all that.
Yeah.
And he never featured. There's only one reason why. It's because he never fully bought in or he wasn't in the right condition. Now, if you're not, then Mikel Arteta's not going to pick you. He's proven that. He's set. I like him because he's straight down the line and he tells it like it is. Unfortunately, Mesut Ozil never bought in. Now, Mesut Ozil has been training with the squad, as we've seen. But when they perform like they do, the future, the present and future is not Mesut Ozil, unfortunately.
Yeah, there's no need for him, innit? In the formation and the structure and the way we're playing, there is no need for Mesut Ozil.
Can we use him at certain stages? Maybe we can. But sorry, Wax, I just don't think Mikel Arteta wants to go back down that route. He wants to give other players an opportunity who he can move forward with him. Yeah,
that's true. Maybe it's because of that relationship they had prior to him being the manager. Because when you find it difficult to work with someone that used to be, or some people may find it difficult to work with someone or manage someone that they used to work with. So they usually, like when you're in a normal business, they would, if you become like a branch manager of a company, they would remove you from that branch that you was in and go and put you
somewhere else where people don't know you. Yeah.
Exactly, because it's easier to kind of manage it and have authority and stuff like that. So maybe that could be the issue between Ozil and Mikel Arteta. Maybe Mikel Arteta, I don't know, he feels like he can't manage Mesut Ozil due to...
Wax, I don't think, because remember when Mikel Arteta came in and he said he knows Mesut Ozil. Mesut Ozil was playing. Mesut Ozil actually was showing like he wanted it.
Yeah.
He was showing like he wanted it, but... unfortunately, lockdown came.
Yeah.
And
the virus came, and
that puts everybody out of sync a little bit. You don't know if you're going to start, and then you get the opportunity to get back in and train and all that kind of thing. And maybe Mesut Ozil's condition wasn't right.
Yeah,
that's the only thing I do think. If he's a potential captain and he's the highest paid player and all this kind of nonsense, at the end of the day, it's about playing. And if he's not in the right condition to play, Mikel Arteta's not going to choose him.
Yeah, exactly. It has to boil down to that. I mean, the only other someone did mention something to me earlier, and I'm going to say this before we move on to the comments, but someone said to me that because of obviously the financial situation that a lot of clubs find themselves in, especially Arsenal, we're struggling financially at the moment. Ozil's got clauses in his contract whereby, if they play him, then they're going to be paying him way more than his 350k a week. Now, at the moment, they've only budgeted for his 350k. They haven't budgeted for any more. So if they maybe have to spend that, I don't know, 500k more, you know what I mean? They might have
Wax.
It was just something someone was talking about.
No, that's a good point. But to me, if I'm paying you 350 grand a week, there is no way I'm going to be paying you extra money to play. You're expected to play. That's why I'm paying you 350 grand a week.
Yeah, no, exactly. But
you understand what I'm saying?
You would obviously know that in contracts they do have those clauses. Like if I'm
but not the top guys, not the young players. Yeah, the appearance and all that. Yeah, but the top guys. This is why we give you the money, because you're expected to play. You're expected to play. That's why I give you 350 grand a week, because you're there. You're one of the first names on the team sheet.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you understand what I mean? No incentive. You don't need an incentive.
So someone that was on 350k like Mesut Ozil, there possibly isn't other clauses or bonuses in their contracts whereby if you get like, I don't know, 15 assists this season, you're going to get 200 racks, or If you get man of the match, you're going to get played.
Not man of the match. Not man of the match. Even if there is 15 assists in there,
yeah,
that's fine.
Yeah,
because that shows that you're productive.
Yeah.
But so I'm paying you 350 grand, and then now I'm gonna have to pay you to appear. No.
No. Yeah. It's true.
No.
It's crazy. I know some of these contracts that these agents negotiate for their players is absolutely crazy. And Ozil's, for Arsenal circumstances, is definitely.
Listen, his agent done a great job.
Yeah.
And listen, the club paid him 350 grand a week or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Good luck to him. If he says he's sitting tight, he can sit tight.
Yeah.
He's the player. He doesn't need to go anywhere.
Exactly that.
But we just have to suffer a little bit more. That's all.
Yeah, exactly. Hopefully he gets given a run in the team, and he comes good and he starts setting up opportunities. But anyway, big up everyone in the chat. We are going to run through some of these comments. Make sure you hammer the like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and hit that notification bell because you don't want to miss out on a thing. As you know, every single day, do not gossip. We're giving you guys that daily dose of Gooner gossip, all those updates regarding Arsenal. So make sure you don't miss out. All right, guys, we are going to run through some of these comments. We're going to run through some of these super chats if there's any in there. Big up all the members. If you haven't got your comments in, then you know what to do. Yo, big up all the guys in that chat. I can see a number of people in there, over 130 comments to read. Unfortunately, we can't read through them all. We would love to. I mean, Kevin would love to stay here all day and read through all of these comments, but unfortunately, we just don't have the time. We don't have it. So we're going to give a few shout-outs, big up a few of these members and see what questions you guys have got. Big up Black Irish Texas. Big up Tor, big up Web Creatives, I see you. Big up Tyrone Powell, Jay Bowling, a few guys in there. Big up Nathan Hawthorne, he's straight in there. And you know what, Nathan, seeing as you are the first comment of the day, right? And you're obviously a member, the winner of the competition that's happened this week, you are the actual winner, Nathan. You are the actual winner, my friend. And the reason I'm giving it to you is big up everyone that has got themselves involved in that competition. But Nathan got himself involved every single day, right until the end, and he never gave up. And for that, my friends,
tenacity.
Exactly. For that, I'm going to give you the prize. And as well as that, you got the most answers correct as well. So if anyone wants to chat gas, he did get the most answers correct. So big up, Nathan. I will DM you in a little while, bro, and I'll get the face mask sent out to you, my friend. But he says, big up Mr. Kevin Campbell, all Arsenal fans, thank you forever remembered. Big you up, Nathan. Big you up. Come on, man. Big Kevin Campbell, absolute Arsenal legend. Scored some tremendous goals, played with some absolute legends at the club. And
winning was everything, Wax.
Exactly. Even
winning.
A part of the UEFA what's it?
Cup Winners' Cup.
Cup Winners' Cup at the time. That's what it was called, isn't it? Cup Winners' Cup. Come on, man. Come on. Until we pay that cash, Onini deserves a chance at redemption 100%. What would you say?
Like I said, El Neni hasn't put a foot wrong. He was in the Community Shield. He done fantastic against Liverpool. Played really well against Fulham. I like these guys that just don't say nothing and just get on with the job and do it. And he's one of them guys. So why not give him a chance? Exactly.
He's got the know-how. I mean, with El Nene, what I like about him, he's very composed. He, and he's got that. I don't know. He just follows everything. He does the basics right. All the basics he does perfectly, and that's the reason for why
he's a good squad player.
Yeah, 100
good squad player. Yeah.
Big up Tyrone Power says, "Wow, legendary talk." Big you up, Tyrone. Where's the questions though? I'm just going to scroll right through because I'll be here for ages. Big up Nathan. He says, "I love this." Big up Toy says, "This is so entertaining." Big you up. Big up the Gunner Ball says, "Yo man, like Wax making big moves. So proud of you, big man. Kevin Campbell is a proper Arsenal legend." Big you up. Big you up. I told you guys, I'm doing this for you lot.
Listen, Wax, this is fantastic to hear. All these guys coming on about you, what you're doing for them. This is what the Arsenal should be about.
Exactly.
It's about, channels like this providing stuff for Arsenal fans. You know what I mean? To enjoy. It's important.
Exactly. I can see everyone's got their answers in for the Kevin Campbell competition. I'm gonna pick a winner in a second. It's literally probably gonna be the first person that got the answer right. I'm gonna have to be fair and square. Whoever got it in first is probably gonna be the winner. But I'll check that out in literally 1 second. Matt W says, "What's happening with Socrates to Napoli?" I believe that's still happening. Have you heard anything in regards to that, Kev?
I think I've heard what everybody else has heard. To be honest, they want him. He's agreed to go. So I just think it's a matter of, sorting out the contract and negotiations, and then him going across for his medical. So
yeah, literally. And players like Socrates, they're coming to the end of their career. We have to move them on. He's on like 90, 100K a week nearly. It's quite a lot of money to be honest.
We could have a youngster. We could have a younger, more progressive player.
Exactly.
Earning some of that. So yeah.
Jay Bowling says we need to find a new Mesut Ozil, and I believe that could be OR.
Yeah,
that could be OR.
That's what we're hoping. We get him. I know we want him, so let's not mess around. Let's go and get him.
Yeah, exactly. Let's make it happen. I think Thomas Partey and OR, we could have a surprise next couple of weeks, to be honest, man.
Yeah.
Big up Carl Anthony says big respect, big you up, big up Garfield Hamilton. I'm looking for these questions. I can't find these questions. Ain't no one got questions for the big Kevin Campbell. Come on,
They probably know. They will probably know the answers. They already know the answers. That's why they got no questions.
All right. So we got one here from Kim's. He says, Kevin, who would you buy with the window almost finished?
Well, the two that we haven't got in, they're the ones I'd love to buy. Partey and Ua. They're the two I think Partey would transform us as a defensive unit. Yeah. Because even at times, and I know El Nene done well and Xhaka, I just don't think we're athletic enough in that position.
Yeah, 100%.
Against the big boys. But Partey is athletic, he's strong, he's tough, gets about, and not only can he pick it up. Remember what Vieira used to do? When he win it, he could just go.
Yeah, the transitional play. This is it.
Yeah, that's what Partey can do, man.
Yeah,
he can pick it up and he can beat, man. And he's starting attacks from their attacks. You know what I mean? So
yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's like that is what we have been lacking. The transitional play from defense to attack. And I remember the days of Cazorla. I think he was so great at just picking that ball up from outside our own box.
Yeah,
and he will feed, find, vision. It was just, it was just so aware. Yes. And it's like we've been lacking that service. And it's like, so when you got Shaka in that, like they just pick up the ball in sideways, backwards. Like no one's actually looking up to try and pick out and use their vision. And that's what's really, really annoying. And I believe Partey will be that type of player. He is like a ball carrying midfielder as well. He will pick up that ball from the defensive half and carry it into the attacking opposition's part of the field. And help with the final third. That is what we need. If you had to choose out of OR and Thomas Partey, who would you choose?
Partey all day long.
Partey, that's the same as me.
All day long.
Yeah, that is exactly the same as me. That's what I've been telling these guys for ages. We've got a few comments here. What did you? Okay, so we've got. What did you find at Everton that put them in your heart?
It's just a connection. It was just a connection when I joined the club. It was just we just connected straight away. I mean, Everton have been in my career for such a long time. Being at Arsenal and you play the likes of Everton year in, year out. Everton are a huge club. Arsenal are a huge club. Yeah. The respect between the clubs has always been there. So I knew what type of club I was going to on loan, and it just worked out. The fans took to me, I took to the fans, and we had that connection, and that's why they're in my heart.
No, 110%. Chris says, who would be your ideal signing for Arsenal? I know you said and Thomas Partey, but is there any other player out there that you would say, you know what, if we had the fund, I will just go and I'll bring that player in? Is there anyone else out there?
Well, yeah, I'm not. Listen, I want Partey, right? I
Yeah,
want Partey. We,
probably
we
need them.
we could look at other clubs, and if you had the money and all these hypothetical, they're great. All the hypothetical stuff is great. You know, Havertz would have been a good one, but obviously Chelsea nabbed him. Um, but I want Partey because I know Partey's going to make us a lot better.
Yeah,
Telling you, he's going to make us a
100%.
lot better than we
Midfielder
are.
that we've been missing for ages, like you said, since the days of Patrick Vieira and
Yeah.
Gilberto. You know, we try. You know, I was looking back at it. I was thinking, you know, there were players that Arsene Wenger did try to bring in that did resemble certain invincible type of players. Like for me, Diaby, he was kind of like a Patrick Vieira type.
Yeah.
You know, we had Song that was that kind of Gilberto bit of steel at the back, and then he eventually become a bit more advanced with his passing and trying to get the ball forward. Even players like Ramsey, I believe Ramsey, when I look at Ramsey, I see a lot of Ray Parlour in Ramsey. I'm not too sure if you would agree with me, but I see a lot of Ray Parlour in the way.
Because Ramsey likes to run without the ball.
There you go.
Yeah, he used to run make up. Yeah.
Yeah, so I used to see a lot of Ray Parlour in him, and I think that Arsene Wenger was trying to, you know, replace character with character, but it unfortunately didn't work out. Scricketball says, good day, guys. Question for Kevin Campbell. What do you think of England's chances next year of winning the Euros? Does the team that played last week look balanced? That's a good question. Big up Scricketball.
No, it didn't look balanced, but you got to remember, I don't know why England are going to play when the players ain't fit. It don't make sense to me. You know, these internationals, the English players ain't fit because they haven't even had a league game. They've not played.
Yeah.
So it always takes a little bit of time. Can England win it? Yes, they can. Because do England have the weapons? Yes, they do. But we have to look at form, injuries, and that squad staying balanced and everyone having a good season. Because what we tend to do in England is we pick players on reputation and not on form.
Yeah, it's always been like that.
Always been that way. Always. And we always go like that.
Yeah.
Because of it. Hopefully, Gareth Southgate would use that and say, right, I'm going to pick you on form. So if you're the form guy, I'll pick you. If you're not in form, then you won't go.
It's so true. It's so true. And that's what's always ruined England over the years. There's chances the teams that England have had over the past 25, 30 years, it's been incredible. I just don't know why they could have never gelled, it was weird. It was so weird. They go to the Premier League and all of them are winning games. They play together as a team and they can't win nothing. It's just like, what's going on here? It's crazy.
They're like strangers.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. We've got another question here. Jay Bowland says, Kevin, out of all the teams you played for, who are the standout players you have played with?
Well, that Arsenal squad. Early in my career, I was so privileged to play and be around them. You know, they were fantastic. You know, look at the guy in that picture for Trabzonspor, Unal, was incredible. Some great players out there, Ogud and stuff like that. Abdullah were great. Nottingham Forest, you know, you look at Steve Stone and, you know, Ian Woan was a fantastic player. Chris Bart Williams, Pierre Van Hooydonk was probably up there. You know, a good Dutch international. You know, you look at Everton. You play with Franny Jefferson, Don Hutchison. Me and Don Hutchison, we just connected on a brain level, football wise. Like I've never connected with no other person like that outside of Arsenal. Really, on that wavelength. You know, Hutch was brilliant for me. So those probably were the standout guys.
Wicked. All right, guys, we're going to be only reading 3 more comments, and then we're going to be wrapping this video up. I will be announcing the other winner who wins the Kevin Campbell signed photo frame. So, guys, I will get those questions in. Let me just read 3 more. We've got one here from Tony Wise. It says, big up the legends, Kevin. Meant to be, my friend. Does a manager's character affect your team's performance? Wenger's team, for instance, aside the Invincibles, were always soft-hearted without spines. Do you agree?
No, I don't agree with that. Look, if you even win without the Invincibles, Arsene Wenger, he didn't win the league, but he won FA Cups. He won 3 FA Cups in 4 years, didn't he?
Yeah, yeah.
So you've got to have a spine to win those.
Mm,
But it's just the consistency isn't there.
yeah.
And to be the best team in the league, you need to be consistent. And unfortunately,
That's what we lacked.
we lack the toughness and mental toughness to do it week in, week out. But on a knockout basis, the team could do it, the squad could do it. So, I agree with some of it, but not all.
Yeah. Matt says, how do I become a member? All you got to do, Matt, is just click on the join button. It should be located directly next to the subscribe button. If you can't see it on your mobile phone, the best way to join is click on use a desktop or a tablet. It should actually work on there. All right, 2 more comments, guys, and 2 more questions, then we're going to wrap this up. Where are we? Is it coming through thick and fast and I'm losing myself? All right, we've got one here. Dean Joseph says, question for Kevin. Who do you think will be the standout player for Arsenal this season, apart from Oba, of course?
Well, depending who we bring in, I'd like to think if Partey comes in, I'd like to think Partey's going to be immense. Obviously, Gabriel looks the part. But do you know what? I really think William's going to have a really, really big season for us. I really do. Because the type of player he is, we don't have. We have Pepe who's gifted, silky, could do bits. But that person, because William could play anywhere across the front, the midfield or the front 3.
Mm-hmm.
And a player like that is a creator. He could score goals, but he's a creator as well. And I think he's going to have a great season for us.
Yeah, I have to agree. I think Willian, like I said before, and I told you subscribers and you supporters in the past, that Willian's game is what we need. That experience is what we need. That unpredictability is what we need. We've seen under Unai Emery, we was very, very predictable. Everyone knew what Arsenal was going to do, what moves we were going to make next, what players were going to run where. But now we're trying to add that type of quality, and that is what Willian brings. All right, cool. Last one, I see it here. Where is it? It's here. Big up Unruly Dre. They say, do you think we should be selling Emi Martinez, considering he has been playing so well? Can we not have him playing all cup games and Leno in the league?
Unfortunately, Unruly Dre, we would like to do that, but Martinez has been at the club such a long time, and he's only really just got his opportunity. He's been fantastic getting his opportunity. He has made a difference, I thought. And at times he looked better than Leno. But Leno is the number 1. And Arteta has gone with Leno as the number 1. So Martinez wants to play. He wants to be the number 1. He's good enough to be the number 1. So he's not going to hang around to play second fiddle to Leno anymore. He's earned the right to go somewhere and be the number 1. So you know what we do? Let's sell him. Let's get the money in and let's move and shake and see where we could strengthen.
110%. 110%. All right, cool. Big up all the subscribers. Big up everyone that is in the chat. Much appreciate all the people that are watching the stream. There's just over 150 people locked in. Big you guys up. The big Kevin Campbell officially joined the channel today. First time on the channel. And he's shining.
It won't be the last, Wax.
Yeah,
it won't be the last.
No, thank you so much, man. It's great to build a relationship with someone like yourself. You're from my perspective, you're an influential guy, someone that's in the world, that's doing very, very well, and I'm looking forward to building a relationship, bro. So yeah, man.
No problem, man. I look forward to it.
It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. All right, cool. So I've just scrolled up anyway, and I want to give the shout out the winner. Unfortunately, all the comments have disappeared. Some of these comments have all disappeared. So the first person that I have come to, the person that I'm going to be giving the signed Kevin Campbell photo frame to is VPiff_Keys. Big you up, my guy. Make sure you go and DM me on Twitter. Send me your address, and I'll get that sent directly to you, my bro. Big you up, Kev. Thank you ever so much for joining me today, man. We have to chop it up again. I'm looking forward to it. Obviously, you've got your channel that you said you're doing. You're just kind of building on it. Yeah, is that?
Yeah, I'm just doing content at the moment, and it's not for it's mostly for the fans.
Yeah.
So whatever I do, I put out on it's on YouTube at one Kevin Campbell, And just like my Twitter handle and Instagram and all that, at one Kevin Campbell, I just get it, do it, and it's fan thing. It's fans. It's me interviewing fans about themselves. So look out for Wax's one.
Yeah, I'll be on there, man. I'm looking forward to doing that, man. That should be fun. So, guys, go and subscribe to Kevin Campbell's channel. Go and support that. Yeah, great legend, Arsenal legend, Kev. Thank you ever so much. You can go now, my friend, and I will catch up with you in a couple of days or soon.
Wax, thanks for having me on. Thanks, everybody. Take care.
Have a good one.
All right.
All right, boys and girls, thank you so much for joining me for this great show. Kevin Campbell has been an absolute legend. I have to show a lot of appreciation to Kevin for taking the time out, coming onto the show, and giving you guys the time to ask questions and interact and so on and so forth. I promised it to you lot. I told you this was going to be the crack, and that's what I've done. I deliver. I always deliver. I never fail to deliver unless I'm sleeping in the mornings or I'm busy running around doing other work and I can't do my Gooner gossips that I've promised to do. That's probably the only kind of promises I break. But guys, big use lot up, man. Make sure you join me tomorrow for the Gooner gossip updates. Hopefully we've got some great news, some important news, whatever. I'm going to be sharing it anyway. Make sure you enjoy the rest of your lovely evening. Let's end this with some more highlights of Kevin Campbell. Have a good night. Until tomorrow.